Good morning. Good morning, America. This is my pink tree. And I see a vision for a future show combining technology with Christmas and the decor and bringing out some of the technology in the future like that. Not only having a show, but then at the end of the show, maybe the last 5 minutes, show clips of how people are decorating. And better yet, include their budget. Like I say to you, this tree is $80. I got it last year in November, and it came too late to put it into the decor for Christmas in 2024. So I got a 10-foot tree for $80 online that was shipped to me last year. Now, how much am I going to spend? Because you are changing a decor from your traditional Christmas. I'm moving that to the front room and the dining room. That's going to be the traditional Christmas. And I always have to have a tall tree when I eat because it reminds me of Marshall Fields and going. And every year our family would go as a treat at Christmas time and sit and have lunch underneath the Christmas tree at Marshall Fields, downtown in Chicago. So that is my traditional Christmas in there with the tree. This one, of course, you have to buy new decor. Well, that's going to cost money. So let me tell you what I have in this tree right now. $80 for the tree, and I have spent, I think, about $75 on things to decorate this tree. And I will add it all up, but I think this should be part of the future show, President Trump. You know, I get these visions and these ideas, and I know that the future technology and wireless electricity and a spinning Christmas tree was part of this vision. And the branding of black and pink, because there is a future for Tesla, but it does not include Elon Musk. So I think at the end of these shows, you know, you put people that have used the technology and how they used it, what their tree looks like, and how much they spent. Because nothing gives me more of a thrill than to know that my tree or my decor looks like $1 million and I only spent, 20. That gives me more of a thrill than anything else. And I never want that to leave out of me. I think that is the exact same thing my granduncle Nikola Tesla had. And he did it on a shoestring budget. And they kept him alive until they didn't need him, shortly after the ending of the Philadelphia Project, which was horrific. And I don't want to go there, but I do want to talk about the technology and how we bring it out. And no, this isn't my decor. That's another thing in teaching. What do I do in designing? I usually pull out 2 or 3 things in color and texture, and I work around those 2 or 3 things in a room, in a tree, and I start designing. So I threw that up there, that white, I don't want to say thing, but, right now it escapes me. And then what's up there? And don't look at that bow, because that bow is horrific, and I don't like that color pink. I don't want to show you all the decor down there. I want it to be a surprise. But I do have all my ribbons. And boy, John Mark makes these ribbons look so easy. A tail and 2 loops, or 2 loops and a tail. And I can see it already. So I then start visualizing. I have the things on the tree that I want to incorporate, but better yet, I want it to inspire into my designs. And then I start visualizing. And I practice in my head over and over and over. I did this with the maneuvers in flight training. It worked wonderful. You get down all the procedures in your head. This is how my granduncle, Nikola Tesla, did it. It's in our DNA. It's in our blood. It's how we think. You can't take it out of us. You'll hear that someday in the Shady Tapes. And don't forget, every day counts. But that's got to be taken down and moved during the holidays. Santa goes there. Santa's face. Although I don't know this year. Because we're switching over that red and white there, do you think that'll look okay with the decor? I think that's a trial and error after I get the tree all decorated. Yeah, because when you change a color drastically like this, you have to change the decor. You know, you can't just have the traditional red and green anymore. You can incorporate it, but you can't have the traditional. You know, this room was like the toy Christmas room, if you remember. And I don't move Tut for anything. This is Tut's wall. It always will be. But Tut shares it until I decide next year I can put this pink tree in the corner where the bar is in the front room. But then I don't have a tree in the window. See my issues with decor? Every year it's just a little different. I love change. You're not supposed to love it like me. But I absolutely embrace, love change, and this is part of why I was blowing up the last 5 years, as the president can use technology to shut change down in one's life. President Trump, bring in Starlink so that we can bring in these med beds and heal everyone in conscience so that I can go on. Tesla knew. My granduncle knew, Nikola knew he had the future because he comes back in conscience. That conscience is in my DNA. Let's create the future. Wireless technology, electricity exists today as it did back then. They enslaved us with an electric bill. They enslaved us with property taxes. Like the governor says, being taxed every year. And then you look at my tax bill that goes from $1,900 in 10 years to $36. I'm not the only one. I'm just the one that comes and breaks conscience. And I want to thank Tammy at Capstone PMI, my HOA, because I know they're working with us. And I know we change the future together, but we have to get there. I see a vision for a show in the future, blending Christmas with technology. In conscience at Disney World, which will be Tesla World at TNT, Tesla Trump, in the future.